Welcome to The Explainer. I am so glad you're here because we are about to go on an incredible journey just a little bit into the near future. The year is 2030, and the way we work? Well, it's undergone a totally seismic shift. We're breaking down the AI revolution today, but not as some far-off sci-fi concept. This is the reality unfolding right this very second. To put it into perspective, going from the industrial age to the digital age took decades, right? But the transition to artificial intelligence? That's taking mere months. It is literally happening before our eyes. If you want to know exactly where your career stands in the next few short years, well, this explainer is your absolute blueprint. So let's get started.
I want you to just imagine waking up and going through your morning routine just a few years from now, in 2030. Your wearable device syncs up with an AI physician. It analyzes your biometrics, and it actually adjusts your daily supplements before you even open your eyes. Then, you drop your kids off to learn from a hyper-personalized, holographic tutor, one that adapts to their exact learning style in real time. And you plug into an office infrastructure that basically runs itself. It's this amazing symphony of autonomous machines and predictive algorithms with just a handful of human strategists steering the ship. I know, it sounds like a speculative novel, right? But this reality is actively being built today. The groundwork from 2030 is already laid out in the server farms of the present.
Okay, let's dive into this. Because this rapid integration brings us to the ultimate core dilemma of this whole technological shift. The big question, will artificial intelligence replace us or will it empower us? Because as these massive neural networks get smarter every single day, mastering logic, complex analysis, and even creativity, we're kind of forced to rethink our own utility. Are we slowly being phased out of the economy, or are we being handed literally the most powerful cognitive superpower in human history? Well, the answer depends entirely on how we choose to interface with the tech. To figure out where we're going, we have to look at the new economics of automation. We aren't just talking about machines doing physical labor faster or cheaper. No, we are talking about tireless cognitive labor. Algorithms are learning to think and analyze. They don't experience decision fatigue. They don't need weekends off. They can crunch 1 million data points, cross-reference decades of legal precedents, or debug thousands of lines of code in a fraction of a second. So businesses are naturally going all in on these systems because machines are just perfectly suited for repetitive tasks. All that friction of human operational limits, poof, it's totally gone. But of course, this relentless drive for efficiency creates a massive, immediate ripple effect across our current workforce. When we map out the specific roles most vulnerable to disappearing, the dividing line isn't blue-collar versus white-collar anymore. It's routine versus non-routine. Any role that relies on predictable, repetitive processes is at serious risk. We're seeing manual data entry operators being replaced by intelligent document processing systems that are basically flawless. Call centers are getting dominated by conversational AI that really understands nuance. Even roles we thought needed a human touch, like basic content writers, cashiers, billing staff, and taxi drivers, are being fundamentally disrupted by generative models and autonomous navigation. The bar for what machines can accomplish is rising incredibly fast. Now, does this disruption spell the end of human utility? Absolutely not. But it is a massive paradigm shift. Listen, the most dangerous mistake here isn't the AI itself, it's refusing to learn new skills and just staying stagnant while the world evolves. For decades, the old focus of a valuable employee was pure output. Can you work hard and grind through the tasks? Today, and for sure by 2030, that hiring mindset completely flips. The new focus is, can you work with AI? We're shifting from hard labor to cognitive leverage. It's often said that AI won't take your job, but a human using AI absolutely will. So your survival really depends on adapting from being the sole producer to becoming a director of intelligent tools. Let's move to and see how this builds, because history shows us that technology always creates exciting new opportunities. Every major technological revolution initially sparks fear, but then it creates vast, incredible new industries. The job market of 2030 is going to feature entirely new domains. We're going to need AI trainers and prompt engineers to fine-tune these massive models. We'll need AI ethics experts. Think about a human-AI collaboration manager, a person whose whole job is optimizing the workflow between human creatives and their digital agents. We'll see a huge surge in VR designers, robot maintenance experts, managing autonomous fleets, AI content creators, and cybersecurity specialists fighting off sophisticated AI threats. Command over these new tools, that will be the ultimate currency. But hey, I want to reassure you, even with all this unprecedented computational power, there are hard boundaries to what a machine can do. There is a profound difference between processing speed and actual human consciousness. Even the most advanced neural network out there,
cannot replicate the unique traits that make us human. Machines do not possess dreams. They don't have genuine consciousness. They don't feel emotions, and they have zero intrinsic purpose. An AI can spit out 1,000 flawless business strategies in 10 seconds. But it doesn't possess the burning desire to build a better world. It doesn't have a why. That deeply human drive, that remains your ultimate, insurmountable edge.
Knowing that, how do we actively build the future-proof human? Well, we don't try to outcompute the machines, we double down on the 5 critical skills they totally lack. Let's walk through them. Number 1, creativity. AI is great at remixing old data, but humans come up with truly original ideas. 2, communication, the art of storytelling and influencing others. 3, problem solving, making complex, nuanced decisions when the data alone just isn't enough. 4, emotional intelligence. And 5, the absolute engine driving the rest is adaptability. In a world where the tech landscape shifts every few months, fast learning is your most vital survival skill. These are the skills that will dominate the future and keep humans powerful.
And this brilliantly illustrates why certain things are nearly impossible for machines to copy. Let's do a deep dive into emotional intelligence, because it is arguably the absolute bedrock of future human value. Picture a high-stakes corporate crisis. Sure, an algorithm can instantly analyze the financial fallout and spit out a mathematically perfect recovery strategy. But it cannot walk into a room full of panicked employees, read the tension, look them in the eye, and rebuild trust, right? It can't offer genuine empathy to a colleague going through a hard time, and it certainly can't lead a fractured team with authentic compassion. Empathy, leadership, relationship building, these require lived experience and vulnerability. No machine can synthesize that.
Now, the evolution of the workforce is only half the story. The positive potential of this revolution is going to completely transform pivotal human sectors outside the office, in our homes, our schools, and our hospitals. When we step away from just corporate efficiency and look at the bigger picture, the integration of artificial intelligence promises to massively elevate our fundamental standard of living. We are looking at some truly transformative 2030 upgrades to our daily existence. Let's compare these simultaneous societal upgrades in education and healthcare, 2 fundamental pillars of human flourishing. In education, learning will become accessible for everyone. Imagine custom study plans generated instantly, adapting to a student's exact strengths. Difficult concepts are explained visually on the spot, languages are translated in real time, and fully interactive virtual science labs are available to anyone, anywhere on the globe. We're scaling world-class tutoring to the entire planet. Meanwhile, in healthcare, millions of lives could be saved. We'll have AI systems that analyze medical scans with a level of accuracy that totally eludes the human eye, predicting diseases years before symptoms even show up. It'll suggest hyper-personalized treatments and assist in robotic surgeries with sub-millimeter precision. It's a complete shift from reactive treatment to proactive prevention.
So the crucial point is, we can't just blindly embrace all this convenience without also aggressively confronting the inherent dangers. Like any epic-defining technology, artificial intelligence is a dual-use tool. That means the exact same systems that can cure diseases and educate millions can also be leveraged to cause serious societal harm. We really have to look at these serious risks with clear eyes.
And these dangers are deeply consequential. First up, we have the spread of deepfakes and highly convincing synthetic media, which poses a huge threat to the fabric of truth, spreading misinformation like wildfire. Second, there's the very real threat of mass unemployment if we don't prepare and proactively retrain the workforce. Third, we're facing an unprecedented loss of privacy due to the massive data collection required to train these giant models. And finally, human dependency. If we offload too much of our critical thinking and decision-making to machines, we risk degrading our own cognitive abilities. Ultimately, our future depends entirely on how responsibly governments and humans use this powerful tool.
Which brings us to a really powerful concluding realization. As the saying goes, the future will not belong to humans alone. It will belong to humans who understand AI. By 2030, society's architecture will be fundamentally rewired. Some people will inevitably fight this shift out of fear, but the really smart folks, they won't fight AI, they'll learn to harness it. It is literally the most powerful cognitive lever humanity has ever constructed. But remember, an algorithm alone is totally inert. Human ingenuity, human purpose, and human empathy, that's the fulcrum. We are the ones who decide where the lever goes.
Leaving us with a final, unavoidable question to chew on: are you preparing yourself for the future? It really isn't about whether artificial intelligence is going to take your job. It's about whether you are preparing yourself to leverage it. Take a hard look at the skills you're cultivating right now.
Are you building your emotional intelligence, your adaptability, and your fluency with these new digital tools? The transition isn't waiting for anyone, folks. The future is already here. Thank you so much for watching this explainer. Keep learning, keep adapting, and we'll catch you next time.